asleep on the couch where you sit and you read and I watch you. From the office, the sunlight frames your silhouette. I think of lighting fireworks, I think of pirouettes. I idly write down observations on the scene. Move to the blueprints, name the rooms alone. We name them on our own, we hardly live in them. You were the book propped on your knees and read, seen in your coffee steam. I'm in the office thinking back to rules of poetry, like it's 14 lines, the last two rhyme, what does pentameter mean? You in the living room, legs bent at 45 degrees, I write AP, try to find your rhyme scheme. I look for objects on the desk with which to sculpt your image best. What would I name this? Could I paint it? Woman reading, girl at rest. I remember it so well, watching you shifting your weight, turning the page. I can see it all there, inside a living room where only I live and never go in the role that made belong. And I pause where I am for a second when I hear your name. Sometimes I think I see your face in improbable places. Do those moments replay for you when I'm suddenly there and then I won't go away? When you're sitting in the living room reading for the afternoon, do you put your book down, look and try to find me there? Sometimes I think of all the people who lived here before us, how the spaces in the memories you make change your room from just blueprints to a place where you live. When you leave here, when you go from home, you take all that you own of the memories that go of hardwood floor in the living room, torn the carpet, the scratches below that we found, and the white stain on the couch. We got drunk and decided we'd still try to move it around. And I can't tell what the difference is between the ones that we made and the ones that we didn't make. They all caught your images still where you sit and you read in the sunlight. Aware that I watch. I live alone now, safe for the echoes. I live alone now, safe for the echoes. Another shooting on the southeast side. This a drive-by midday outside of the bus stop. 5 below in Franklin or near there, not far from the park, about a block from where the other shooting was last month. Or was it last week? Shots were fired from an SUV heading northbound east down a target arrival, but they didn't hit the target this time. They hit a kid with it, had nothing to do with it, and I traveled backwards through time and space, and I disintegrate, become invisible. I wanna see it where I couldn't when it happened. I wanna see it all firsthand this time. I wanna know what it felt like. So I float behind police lines, reconstruct the scene in fragments of memories. I wanna know what his mother looked like up close. I wanna see her leaning over his body. So I float there, transcend time. I wanna capture it accurately. I wanna know what the color of the blood was, spilling out from the tarp onto the concrete. I wanna write it all down so I can always remember. If you can see it up close, how could you ever forget how senseless death, how precious life? I wanna be there when the bullet hit. And the crowd poured out as the shots drowned into siren sounds out of their houses now and over front yards, all the way up to the place where the police tape ran to mark the crime scene. Everybody trying to catch a glimpse of what was happening, of what was days later, they made funeral plans. The family. 3 days later, a mother had to bury her son. Not far away, the shooter holed up in a hotel near to the highway with a friend and the gun. That same gun. He fled immediately, but was identified by witnesses. His picture on TV, only 20 years old, they called him Grandpa. He was older than the others by a year, maybe two, and he was safe for a while until somebody saw him there and notified the authorities who surrounded the hotel, first arresting an accomplice while attempting to flee, then chasing him up the staircase to the floor where he'd stay. He closed the door hard behind him, locked himself in the room. They could have kicked in the door, but knew the gun was still with him, one he'd already used, and so they feared what he'd do. I floated up through the window of the room to the west. I hovered out to the hallway, tried to listen in. I heard them trying to reason, get him to open the door. His uncle begging and pleading, half collapsed to the floor. He preached of hope and forgiveness, said there is always a chance to rectify what you've taken, make your peace in the world. I thought to slip through the door, I could have entered the room. I felt the burden of murder, it shook the earth to the core. Felt like the world was collapsing, then we heard him speak. Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? Can I ever be forgiven cause I killed that kid? It was an accident, I swear it wasn't meant for him. And if I turn it on me, if I even it out, can I still get in, or will they send me to hell? Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? I left the hotel behind, so let it know how it ends. I've been watching a slow thaw come around. I've been waiting in the cold and hazy blue. I've been driving alone out to the edge of town. I've been thinking too much of you. Last snowfall left splinters and some winters never end, neither rain nor wear. And sunshine, it's like lovers, and some summers just pretend only warm the air. It's that I'm tired of the feeling here. It's too near to death, it's too jobless year round. It's not the weather in the city or the highway moan, not the streets or the buildings, neither wooden or stone. Every reason to leave this place
I knew, and I can't find it back. No, not ever. 10 years now standing vacant, 10 years on empty, maybe more. Once held the faith of hundreds, soon one more cell phone store. For years they gathered here inside the building, sounding true to sing their praises to a God that gave them hope to carry on, to carry through. So I've been thinking about that. Sometimes go slow when I drive by. How a home of stone and a house so holy grows so empty over time. What gave those people purpose? Past death approaching constantly, now left to crumble slowly, now left to wither with the weeds, now left to ice and vandals. The advent candles, long since gone. The old foundation shifting hard, the concrete overgrown, but that stained glass window sits untouched amongst the brickwork worn, a symbol of the beauty only perfect at that moment we were born. And just the other day, I swear I saw a man there pulling weeds out of the concrete, sweeping up and patching cracks. I saw him lift a rag to wash the years of filth from off those windows. Made me wonder if there's anyone like that for you and me and anybody else who broke and lost hope. After sundown, before sleeping, I am the worst of me. I am a mess of these old themes and the murmur of half dreams. Whisper seductively in stage scenes. It's fear fiction. These visions caught somewhere between delusion and prophecy. What I haven't done, what I've wanted to, what I fear you have becomes reality here. Bright lights in the young night keep to the beat. A classic party scene, crowded and interesting. No love, no life, no history. Just touch, just chemistry. Just a roaring undercurrent, simple and sensory. Young bodies, warm skin, perfect symmetry. And it's a moment, harmless, it's energy. It's like medicine, it's self-discovery. See, all the secrets I keep, why are they secrets? It's only temporary, the fleeting feeling of warmth. Just a flash before the line gets blurry. Between a longing for more than what the body wants now and what the body wants now more than anything. Was it integrity that kept my hands to myself, or just the thought of getting too far ahead of you? Was it that I got too tired of the consequence, or was I just scared? I only know I never wanted to get left behind. No pauses, not a second guess. First a swing, then a stumble, then a swagger. They're just movements towards feeling. It doesn't matter, neither hesitate to carry on. A kind of energy, sweat and block out everything to find every aperture and compel the animal parts. Fan flames, taste fruit, taste bitter food. Just try to learn how all the wires in the body work. Just try to feel it out, it's like medicine. Find a healing in whatever bed they end up in. I wanna feel it out, I wanna know how it works. I wanna know if it was worth it to worry about the ghosts I fear would haunt the memory, about the damage that I'm sure the fear has done to me now. I wanna know what it is in me that won't follow through. Those things the instinct takes a hold of me and pushes to. Maybe it's only that I've never gotten over you, or am I still scared? I see the church steps, a vision. Is there fiction in this one too? It's true. I've made a tale of it here, still it's a little unclear who's been haunting who. And time can be such a funny thing, always moving to the future, glorifying the past and amplifying the pain it frames the glass. So was our touch half as sacred as I've made it seem, or just another fabrication of a half dream? Just those chemicals, the adolescent love, just us trying to grasp onto meaning, onto a purpose, onto a sense that something spiritual releases when the feeling hits. And when the feeling hits, and in that moment sparks and hearts play out a slipping melody through fog and fantasy. And in that moment there's an honesty, instinctive and pure, but it's a parsley and cake, wrapped in and buried no more than fleeting ecstasy of natural harmony. They fear the note flower on the back of its dress. It's probably best to forget it. It's probably best to let go. I painted the shade of where the skin and the lip meet. Only a moment after breaking the kiss, and I blur out everything else. That's how I choose to remember it. Some nights are a lot like the days I lay awake too late. I watch the shadows cast and trace your shape. No silver slivers on the wall, then on the bed sheets. I hear your song in the trees. I finally fall into rest. Often later when I'm sleeping, you show up in my dreams, just doing simple things like buying groceries. And when I wake up, I can swear you must have just left me, like you got up to get breakfast or maybe just to get dressed. But the truth is, you were never there. You won't ever be. Sometimes I think I'm not either. So what do I do when every day still seems to start and end with you? And you won't ever know, you won't ever see how much your ghost instead has been defining me. I leave the memory off atop the balcony. I tear this flower from the back of the dress. It's best this time I bet to just forget and let go. Maybe the shade of where the limb bleeds and blur it out. I blur out everything else, just blur out everything else and let go, and let go, and let go. Everybody has to let go someday. Everybody has to let go. I wonder when I will. I wonder. But if I still hear you singing in every city I'm in, after I blur it all out, or every memory, if you never pay for the day, you should still walk with me then. Should I not just sing along? Should I not just sing along? I will sing sweetly, hope that the notes change, but I do not need it to happen, I'm not resigned to it. And if they never do, I'll sing your name in every line, just like I did throughout this, just like I've always done. In every gun, the empty church, in every tortured son, and almost giving up, and almost giving in. Until I die, I will sing our names in unison. Until I die, I will sing our names in unison. Until I die, until I
Found a body at the rest stop, buried in the woods beneath the garbage and leaves. Workers clearing overgrowth. Saw hidden in the brush, just beyond the line of the trees. A jawbone and teeth. Winter into spring on full street. And cities grow weeds, and cities grow. And cities keep secrets in the trees, in the shadow of a pyramid. And cities grow weeds, and cities grow by the river and the covered bridge. And cities grow weeds, and I know all the memories your dreams retrieve. Pick a dress out for the funeral, hold a vigil in a field, release lanterns at night. And I saw on the shoulder of the interstate, when I followed your eyes, when I followed your eyes, all the crosses for the accidents, all the photos and the flowers by the street. Will I ever put flowers by the street? Will I ever put flowers by the street? Never needed to live and suffer through the pain, all the tyrannies of grief. If I ever do, will I even have the strength to do anything? Could I go and leave flowers by the street? stars, and I saw lights fading every monument in the passage of time. If I could just try, could I banish all the pain in you, give you everything you need? If I hid rose quartz underneath the mattress, would I help you nights when you're struggling to sleep, when you're struggling to sleep? Will I ever be half what I can be? Can I ever be half what I can be? If you needed me to be anything, could I even be half of what you need? Will I ever be me? Will I ever be me? If I could take hands to shake you, would you want me to? If it shook you on a grief, if I gave chase summers when you tunneled into nothingness, would it bring you some release? If I saw signs on the shoulder of the interstate, when I followed where your eyes went, I saw nights spent after midnight in a eulogy that you never got to give. And I saw fenders bent hard on an oak tree, I saw sirens at the scene, I saw cigarettes falling in the tangle of machinery between the console and seat, and I saw hands reach cartridge across the center line. I saw it all in my dreams, and I saw beams hiding bodies in the tree line off the interstate. But I've never put flowers by the string. I've never put flowers by the string. If you need from me to be anything, I could bring everything you need. If you need from me to be anything, I could bring everything you need. Every monument, every memory, and I never put flowers by the string.
At times I've shouted out unprovoked at the world and you, just to see if the people around me react. Sometimes I think they're all acting, times I'm scared that I'm acting too like my movements are stage directions. Was that a change in topic or a beat in the scene? Have I been taking my emotional cues from the script I wrote at 16? Maybe I just think about it all so much that the fear stays close to all the ghosts I've touched. Makes me question, was it love or just lust? Caked in blood or old rust? I don't know. Don't we remember all the moments we remember the best? Framed in poems and in pictures, sang aloud in refrains. Does this cycle of pain and disdain for the past not work exactly the same? Maybe it's just as much about what comes our way as it is how we react. Just as much about the things that we've still got as it is about the things we lack. I know we won't always keep around those we feel we need. Some will fade into frames, some were born to lead. But if we're still So here goes, one last letter now, one last attempt to make sense. Who have I been writing to? I'm not sure anymore. What have I been trying to accomplish? It's a mystery, I guess, self-made secrecy. Things get cloudy and now all these stories and the struggle as an undercurrent both get blurry by the minute, both get blurrier. So which voice is this then that I am writing in? Is it my own or his? Has there ever been a difference between them at all? I don't know. I don't know. One less desperate plea, one less verse to sing, one less laugh track to accompany the comedy. Have I been losing it completely, losing sanity? Or has it been fabricated, fashioned by the worst of me? I know I knocked the table over because I watched the jar break, and I've been trying to repair it every single stupid day. But won't the cracks still show? No matter how well it's assembled, can I ever just decide to let it die and let you go? All my motives and every single narrative below reflects that moment when it So, did you get better, or if you never quite recovered from it? Did you find your lover laying in your bedroom with another, and then did you let it hover over you and everything else well after the fact? Show me all your bruises, I know everybody wears them. They broadcast the pain, how you hurt, how you reacted. Did cancer take your child? Did your father have a heart attack?
flower on the back of its dress. It's probably best to forget it. It's probably best to let go. I painted the shade of where the skin and the lip meet. Only a moment after breaking the kiss, and I blur out everything else. That's how I choose to remember it. Some nights are a lot like the days I lay awake too late. I watch the shadows cast and trace your shape. No silver slivers on the wall, then on the bed sheets. I hear your song in the trees. I finally fall into rest. Often later when I'm sleeping, you show up in my dreams, just doing simple things like buying groceries. And when I wake up, I can swear you must have just left me, like you got up to get breakfast or maybe just to get dressed.
days later, they made funeral plans. The family. 3 days later, a mother had to bury her son. Not far away, the shooter holed up in a hotel near to the highway with a friend and the gun. That same gun. He fled immediately, but was identified by witnesses. His picture on TV, only 20 years old, they called him Grandpa. He was older than the others by a year, maybe two, and he was safe for a while until somebody saw him there and notified the authorities who surrounded the hotel, first arresting an accomplice while attempting to flee, then chasing him up the staircase to the floor where he'd stay. He closed the door hard behind him, locked himself in the room. They could have kicked in the door, but knew the gun was still with him, one he'd already used, and so they feared what he'd do. I floated up through the window of the room to the west. I hovered out to the hallway, tried to listen in. I heard them trying to reason, get him to open the door. His uncle begging and pleading, half collapsed to the floor. He preached of hope and forgiveness, said there is always a chance to rectify what you've taken, make your peace in the world. I thought to slip through the door, I could have entered the room. I felt the burden of murder, it shook the earth to the core. Felt like the world was collapsing, then we heard him speak. Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? Can I ever be forgiven cause I killed that kid? It was an accident, I swear it wasn't meant for him. And if I turn it on me, if I even it out, can I still get in, or will they send me to hell? Can I still get into heaven if I kill myself? I left the hotel behind, so let it know how it ends. So here goes, one last letter now, one last attempt to make sense. Who have I been writing to? I'm not sure anymore. What have I been trying to accomplish? It's a mystery, I guess, self-made secrecy. Things get cloudy and now all these stories and the struggle as an undercurrent both get blurry by the minute, both get blurrier. So which voice is this then that I am writing in? Is it my own or his? Has there ever been a difference between them at all? I don't know. I don't know. One less desperate plea, one less verse to sing, one less laugh track to accompany the comedy. Have I been